Hey, Kyle. Just so you know, I'm getting married. I figured I should tell my brother.
Pardon me? Married? Why all of a sudden?
You know I've been going out with that doctor for some time, right? I wasn't even going to introduce you, but you had to show up at the restaurant. That was so embarrassing. That's the guy I'm marrying.
Oh, that guy, huh? The kind of serious-looking young guy? Wasn't his name Brandon or something like that?
Yeah, that's right.
I see. Well, thanks for telling me, and congratulations. I bet you're gonna get pretty busy preparing for the wedding and all.
Yeah, about that. You don't need to get involved in any of it, just so you know.
Excuse me? Yeah, well, preparations are usually done by the people getting married, so I've no intention of getting involved in any of that.
Yeah, not only that. You don't have to come to the wedding ceremony either.
Are you being serious? If you don't invite me, no other relative will be there. You okay with that?
No problem there. I'm inviting my parents, so no need for you to be there.
Parents? What are you... Wait, don't tell me.
That's right, my parents. The ones I was forcibly separated from when I was only 6 years old. Because of you. They heard from someone that I was getting married and came a long way just to see me.
I'm gonna have to stop you right there, Cindy. I know these people. They have no interest in you. They're only after Brandon's money. I'm sure that they will suck you dry.
But that's just your opinion. It all seems so one-sided.
You don't realize what kind of fraudsters they are. I told you about them hundreds of times. Don't you remember all that?
Yeah, but once I met them, they were so nice to me. They were tearful just seeing how much I'd grown up and matured. I bet you anything that after living apart for so long, they realized how they treated us and felt remorse.
That's how they play this game, Cindy. Don't you see? They're stringing you along, earning your trust until they get a hold of the money. It's all part of their master plan, and you're in the midst of it. When they come snooping around again, just be on guard. Don't obey their every request. Keep a distance and never trust them. You got that?
Do I really have to be satisfied with a high school dropout of a brother as a family? At least I have real parents. Some people don't even have that.
Please, don't be like that, Cindy.
Anyway, even if they were solely after his money, he's the son of a local doctor. He'll just take over the clinic one day. It's not as if he's some world-renowned heart specialist or anything. But the clinic does bring in a considerable amount, I suppose. And we could expand in the future. Even if they do milk us for some cash, we won't go bankrupt anytime soon. We're not that poor. We're on a completely different level from you, Kyle. Don't compare us to a high school dropout factory worker.
How could you say that? Do you really think I wanted to drop out of high school? I was an honor student. I had my eyes on college, but I had to escape that household and save you.
You make it sound as if you rescued me and took me far away. All we did was drive a few hours to Grandpa's place. At least we had a place to live. You really should have asked to finish high school. Grandpa was still alive by the time you started working at the factory. If you really wanted to, you could have finished school, no problem.
Grandpa wasn't exactly well off. He just barely supported himself, much less two grown kids. Cindy, this is final. Don't ever trust these guys. They will end up breaking your heart. Mark my words.
Excuse me?
I never told you this, Cindy. I thought it might leave you traumatized, but the reason I took you and escaped was because they were planning to sell you off to some guy to wipe their debt clean. You were only 6 years old at the time. I couldn't let that happen.
Are you serious?
It was only complete chance that I heard about their malicious intent. And that's when I contacted Grandpa for help.
Who was this guy I was supposedly being sold to?
All I can say is that if I hadn't taken you away, you wouldn't be here today. God knows where you would have ended up. I was only 15 at the time, just starting high school. Grandpa never complained and made all the arrangements to take custody of us. I heard he also got legal advice from the people down at Child Services. It took some time and effort, but he was finally able to take legal custody of us. One of the conditions was that I quit school and start making a living by working at this factory.
What a cock and bull story. Mom and Dad were super nice to me. They would never do such a thing. You're delusional, Kyle.
You're not going to believe me, is that it? After all I've done for you.
Back to what we were talking about earlier. I'm going to invite Mom and Dad to the wedding. And I don't want you there. End of story. The wedding guests are all Brandon's friends and relatives. If you show up, a high school dropout, it'll be a catastrophe. Mom and Dad both finished high school, so no real problem there. It's just so embarrassing to have a high school dropout of a brother attend. You can understand that, right? Also, you don't have to show up when both of our parents meet for the first time, just as folks in mine. Just so you're aware, I told Brandon that my brother may disrupt the wedding because he's so incensed that you're a successful doctor. I warned him to be on the lookout for you.
You would go that far to keep me away, huh? All right, Cindy. Have it your way. Just don't come crying to me later.
I never want to hear you say we're family ever again!
Right. That's your desire. I have nothing more to say. As for me, I don't want to be anywhere near those grifters.
Hey, Kyle. What's up, bro? Today's a big day. Finally getting married.
Yeah, right. I forgot all about it. Today was the day. Well, congratulations.
Yeah, thanks.
What is it? Did you change your mind? You want me there after all?
Don't worry about that. No chance of that happening.
Well, that's a relief.
Come on, Kyle. Don't give me that. I bet you wish you were here.
No, that hasn't changed one bit. But after your rejection, I got to thinking. You're a grown woman now, and Brandon's not some kid. He's a doctor after all. Figured you guys can handle it. You guys can take responsibility for your own actions. No need for me to interfere. You know what? I decided to just think about my future and my own happiness going forward.
I have no idea what you're talking about. But I take it you have zero intention of crashing this wedding. I have your word, right?
Of course, I had no intention of crashing any party.
Well, that's a relief.
You done? I just got off the late shift. I'm exhausted.
Yeah. Nighty-night.
See ya.
Kyle, wake up! You have to help me. Kyle, please pick up! My wedding dress! What am I going to do? I had the dress order made! It's cost in excess of $10,000! They made off with the dress and all the rented jewelry! That necklace used real diamonds! They took everything of value! How could this happen? Please, Kyle! Please respond!
What the hell is this?
Oh, Kyle, finally! Where have you been, for God's sake?
I was sleeping. I told you I just finished my shift. I didn't want to be interrupted, so I turned the phone off.
Your sister is in trouble and you're sleeping? Are you out of your mind?
How was I supposed to know what's happening? Besides, it has nothing to do with me. So, you catch the thieves?
Excuse me?
Wasn't that line message this afternoon about some robbery at the wedding?
Yeah, right. It was a robbery, but it's more than that. It's about... How should I put this?
The hell are you trying to say? Is this some kind of prank?
The people who took the dress and all the jewelry... It was Mom and Dad!
Oh, wait. Back up, would you? You're saying it was those two?
Yeah, Mom and Dad. They came into the dressing room while I was getting ready. They stuffed everything into a big sack and took off.
Well, I definitely saw this coming.
How could my mother and father do this to their own daughter? When I met them, they were super nice. They got all misty-eyed when they saw how happy I was.
I told you that's how they got on your good side. Play to your emotions, the oldest con in the book. They keep this charade up, built your trust, and when the time comes, they pounce. How many times have I warned you, don't ever trust them? When they approach, always be super vigilant.
What's the use of telling me that now? What the hell am I going to do? They stole everything. I have nothing. My wedding is a total disaster.
Does that mean the wedding was canceled?
Not only that, the whole wedding, the whole marriage is finished.
What do you mean?
Brandon's parents said they don't want their son marrying someone brought up by thieves. So the whole thing was called off. The wedding, the engagement.
Probably know the answer to this, but here goes. Who's gonna pay for that order-made wedding dress?
Well, that... Brandon paid for the whole wedding.
Did you call the police?
Yeah, Brandon called them right away.
Okay, got it. So everything has been taken care of. I don't see what I can do.
Hold it. What? What do you mean by that? You're my brother! Your little sister is in trouble! And that's your response? And this is something our parents did. You're responsible too!
Hey, Cindy, have you already forgotten what you said?
Huh? Forget what?
You said you never wanted to hear that we are family ever again. You do remember that, right? That means we're not family, not brother and sister. No relation. That's what you wanted and I agreed. I have no obligation to help you, Cindy.
We don't have time to be arguing about this BS!
And what's more, I'm not part of your family anymore.
What are you talking about?
I told you some time back that I was dating the daughter of the factory owner. I married her recently and became a part of her family. I dropped my name and took hers. I'm part of their family now.
Pardon me, you're not...
It means I'm not part of their family. We all live together at her father's place.
I don't understand any of this. This is the first time I'm hearing about this.
Why do I even have to report to you? You're not even family. I have no obligation to you. You're a stranger.
But Kyle, I was...
Now that you know, hope you'll respect my wishes and not contact our family anymore.
Come on, Kyle. Your sister's in trouble. Help me out, would you?
You're the one who said you'd rather have your real parents than a high school dropout factory worker. Remember that? You're the one that ignored my warnings and invited those fraudsters into your life. I warned you 100 times never to trust those scoundrels. You're the one that wanted nothing to do with me. I wasn't in your league, you said. I was an embarrassment.
Please, Kyle, don't be like that.
You got yourself into this mess. Figure it out for yourself. My days of being your brother are over.
Please, Kyle, forgive me.
I'm sorry to say this, Cindy, but you no longer have a brother.
Please, you can't abandon me.
You better cut this short. We're getting ready to leave on holiday with the family. We won't be back for about a week. Goodbye, Cindy. Have a happy life.
Kyle, you can't do this to me!
I was told later that my parents were eventually tracked down by the police. Apparently, they were trying to hawk the jewelry that they stole to a pawn shop downtown. Wasn't long before they were sentenced to prison. As for the wedding dress, that was sold immediately. Seems there was a buyer, all set up. That money was long gone. Obviously, the wedding could not continue and it was canceled. And as Cindy said, the marriage itself was terminated. My sister's just an average office worker with an average monthly salary. Highly unlikely that she could pay off the debt that she managed to create. But as she had invited many of her co-workers to the wedding, and who later learned that her parents were the culprits in this heist, she was too ashamed to continue working there. After a couple months, she was forced to resign out of humiliation. Friends told me she's currently working some part-time job downtown, apparently keeping a low profile. A lot has happened over the years, but I've decided that what's important is my current family. I plan to focus on my own happiness going forward.
Hey, did you pack for the trip? Mom said to pack properly. She said to make sure you don't forget anything. I'm so excited to go on the trip to the hot spring. I took a week off work for this trip. Oh, sorry. I haven't been able to prepare yet. What? You haven't done it already? We're going to leave tomorrow morning. You're home all day. What are you doing? Sorry. It seems like Catherine is sick, so I went to the hospital and I didn't have time. It was just a simple cold, though. What? A cold? Tell me you're joking. What if I get a cold? I won't be able to go on the trip. We can't help it. It's normal for kids to suddenly become sick. The weather has been cold and suddenly hot recently. You should be taking care of her as her mom. How bad of a mom are you to make your child sick? And we're about to go on a family trip as well. What have you done? I don't know what to say. Can you do something about it until tomorrow? I know we have some medicine at home. Do you realize that Catherine is still 3 months old? You can't just feed a baby medicine. The doctors told me to keep her relaxed. What the hell? What are we going to do about tomorrow? I was thinking if we could postpone the trip. What? I mean, we don't know when Catherine might get a fever again. I don't think it's safe for us to take her on the trip. Are you kidding me? Why do we have to postpone the trip? Mom has been very excited about it too. We can't just cancel the trip because of a reason like that. A reason like that? Fine, then you don't have to come. Just stay home with Catherine. I will go with my parents. Then everything is okay. What? I'm going on the trip with my parents. You can just stay home and do the housework as well as take care of Catherine. Why are you complaining about the trip I planned? You don't have to say that. The trip is more important than Catherine, who is sick? Nobody said that. You're so annoying. Whatever. I'm going to sleep at my parents' house. I will also pack for the trip at my parents' house. I'm not going to go home until you realize what you have done. What? John! Stephanie, I heard from John. He said that you haven't even packed for the trip, and your excuse was that your child was sick? Please do your job as a wife more properly. But Catherine got the fever so suddenly. It wasn't easy for me to take her to the hospital since I'm not used to it. Stop making excuses. You have to stop making it harder for your husband just because your child is sick. It's your job to take care of that as a mother. How bad of a mom are you? You let your child be sick and can't even care for your husband. You're such a bad mother and a wife. I'm sorry. Why did John marry you? You can't even give birth to a boy. What? Well, I wanted to go on the trip without you anyways, so I guess it worked out just fine. Just think about what you've done at home. Bye. John, Come back. Please come back now. Please. What's the matter with you? My notifications are full. I'm driving right now. Catherine's fever is so high. It's close to 40 degrees. I also got sick and I have about the same fever. I don't have any energy. What should I do? Please come back. You are so selfish. What? You didn't even prepare for the trip, and you lie and make me come back? Why do you want to interrupt your trip so much? Stop being butthurt. I wasted my time stopping the car. What are you saying? Believe me, I really have a fever. I won't go back either way. It's your job to take care of Catherine. You're a mother, so even if you have a fever, you need to take care of your child. I am busy over here with Mom. What? If you do apologize, I would have asked Dad to pick you up and bring you to the trip. But that's not happening now, so stop interrupting my trip. I'm going to block you until you realize what you've done. John, wait. Please wait. Have you thought about what you've done? Because of you, the car ride there was horrible. Mom was complaining about you, but after the hot spring and enjoying the food and sightseeing, she got better. I will forgive you if you apologize to me meaningfully. Mom said that she would forgive you this time as well. Stop being so stubborn and apologize to me. Just call me. If you do so, I will take you on the next trip. By the way, do you know where Dad is? He's not on the trip. Are you listening? Is that the first thing you say after not texting for a while? How can you say that to your sick wife and child? Forgive me? Who do you think you are? You are such an embarrassing person. Huh? How dare you speak to me like that? You haven't reflected on your actions. Stop acting so big. You're the one acting big. Stephanie doesn't have to reflect on her actions. Stephanie? Wait. Are you not Stephanie? Who are you? I am your father. What? Dad? Why? Where is Stephanie? I am borrowing Stephanie's phone right now. She's not in a state where she can talk to you. She can't talk to me? Why? What do you mean? Why? John, do you realize what you've done? What? Stephanie is in the hospital right now. Catherine as well. What? At the hospital? I got a call from the hospital 3 days ago. They told me that Stephanie and Catherine were taken to the hospital by an ambulance. The paramedics told me that Stephanie had lost consciousness because of a high fever, and Catherine also looked very sick. Fortunately, they are both going to live, but they are going to be hospitalized for a few days. What? Which hospital? I'm going to go right now. You will never be able to see your wife and child. Don't ever see them. What? I'm sorry, but I read the text between you guys. Stephanie was asking for your help because she got a fever, but you said terrible things to her and prioritized the trip. Well, you told her that she needs to take care of her child even though she is sick because she is a mom. And you said that you were busy spending time with your own mom? Stop acting so stupid. Oh no. You are Stephanie's husband and Catherine's father. Leaving your sick wife and child and prioritizing a trip. You are not fit to be a father or a man. Stephanie is somebody else's beloved daughter. She risked her life to give birth to your child. Have you ever thought about that? Well, I thought she was being stubborn because we got into a fight. But even if she did really have a fever, I don't know what to do even if I'm there. Stephanie is a strong woman, so I thought she was fine. What the hell are you talking about? Just because you don't know it doesn't mean you can leave them to be. You can at least take them to the hospital. You thought she was okay because she is strong? She gave birth just 3 months ago. She is still not used to a lot of things, and she's not her usual self yet. Her parents' house is also far away, so she's trying everything on her own. You are the one that is supposed to support her. What are you thinking? Well, the fact that you use your own mother as an excuse makes you a filthy person. Also, your mother, Ava. How can she say that Stephanie is not fit to be a mother? You guys are an embarrassment to the family. Dad, I've been worried about how you treated Stephanie. I thought that you treated her unfairly. I should have warned you earlier. Wait, Dad, I'm sorry. I'm going to go home now. Where is the hospital? Please tell me. Why would I tell you? You're going to cause stress to Stephanie. About Stephanie and Catherine. I asked her parents to come over. They are taking care of her now. I'm going to go over there now. Let's enjoy our last family trip together. Stephanie, it's been a while. I heard you were released from the hospital. Are you free now? I want to talk to you. Is there anything you have to say to me? Well, I'm so sorry. I truly am. Dad came afterwards and he got really mad at me. I'm sorry I treated you and Catherine unfairly. I'm sorry for leaving you even though I knew you had a fever. I'm sorry to have you hospitalized. I'm sorry. I see. Your dad got mad at you? Yes. I got married and have a child. So the most important thing is to take care of my wife and child. He was so disappointed that I said such mean things. I also realized that and reflected on my actions. Dad also got mad at Mom for saying mean things to you. Dad said he would get a divorce and Mom started crying. I see. And then? So I reflected on my actions. Can you give me another chance? I will never treat you guys unfairly. I will prioritize you, Stephanie and Catherine, please. You're at your parents' house now, right? I'll pick you up, so please come back. John, let's get a divorce. What? Wait. What? Why? Why are you talking about getting a divorce? I'll never do that again. Please believe me. John, what I wanted most was, even before the apology, was to ask me about my health or how Catherine is doing. If you show that you care about me or Catherine, I thought of giving you a chance. What? But all you did was apologize and didn't ask us how we were doing. You just wanted to be forgiven and feel better. I can tell that you're only thinking about yourself. No, wait. I am worried about you. I was so worried I wasn't myself. For the past few days, you didn't come to visit us in the hospital. You didn't even give me a text. I wanted to go to the hospital, but they didn't tell me where the hospital was, and I thought you wanted to rest while you were hospitalized, so I thought of talking to you after you got released from the hospital. If you really cared for us, you would have gone past your father. You should have begged him to tell you the hospital. You were just waiting until we were released from the hospital. If I was in your position, I wouldn't be able to do that. Also, you tried to apologize by text? You didn't think of apologizing face to face? Am I not worth calling? Stop making fun of me. That's not it. That's not what I mean. It's complicated. So let's talk face to face. I think it's meaningless talking to you. While I was at the hospital, I was remembering our relationship. Even from the beginning of our marriage, you were treating me unfairly. While I was pregnant and sick, you didn't care for me. When my water broke and I called you, you were drinking. You came to the hospital super drunk. And then you also made me do all the housework and take care of Catherine. But you still complained with your mom that I wasn't up to your standards. This situation is just a key. I realized from your past actions that I can't keep being married to you. Whatever you say, my heart won't change. It's useless. Please don't say that. It's all my fault. I apologize endlessly. I'll help you with Catherine with the housework. I'll show you what I've changed. No, it's impossible for you, John. You can't change for us. We've had this conversation now, and you still say you're going to help me? Wait, no. I will really change. I've had enough. If you have anything to say, please tell my lawyer. I also left the divorce papers at home, so please write them. Bye. After that, I blocked all of John's contacts. With the help of my parents, I got a lawyer and sent them the lawyer's contact information. But John has been trying to call my parents' house. He also physically came to my house, but my parents and the lawyer kicked him out. Therefore, I was able to rest in peace. After that, I hardly had to see John, and we were able to get a divorce. I made him promise to pay me alimony and child support. John was crying till the end because he didn't want to, but since I don't love him anymore, it was hard to watch. Soon after, my ex-father-in-law also filed a divorce against my ex-mother-in-law. They were about to take it to court, but I introduced my lawyer to my ex-father-in-law and they were able to get a divorce. After the divorce, my mother-in-law has aged quite a bit and is staying home. It also seems that she's starting to forget things and John is having a hard time taking care of her. I returned to my parents' house and I'm raising Catherine with the help of my parents. Sometimes my father-in-law also comes to see Catherine and he helps out a lot. I'm really thankful because there are people who are going to support me even when I get back to work. There are so many things I have to do until the end of my maternity leave, but I'm going to do my best for Catherine.